Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Save Awards Night. This is really a very, very exciting event for us. So we're very, very happy to have you here. And we're going to begin with a little welcome from Dr. William Bissett, the president of Learn University, to begin our program.
Thank you. I feel like I'm speaking in a spaceship a little bit here, so it's okay. Thank you. And this will be a very brief welcome on behalf of our entire Lord's community. What a wonderful evening. I wish I was able to stay for the evening and celebrate all of you award recipients. I have another event that I have to go to, but I wanted to take a few minutes to say thank you for all you do for the community. Thank you for all you do to make life better for many of us and for being part of tonight's event. I just looked down at the program for tonight and noticed that it's the 32nd Annual Save Awards. And I've been saying since I arrived at Lord's about a year ago, and I've heard about Save. Sister Rosine has been doing sustainability before sustainability was a thing. And we are so blessed to have her doing what she does on a day-to-day basis and a year-to-year basis here, and appreciate all that she does. That's a perfect example of those wonderful contributions that she makes and the wonderful influence that she has in the work that she does. So thank you for being with us tonight, and congratulations again to our awards recipients. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. I now like to ask Sister Nancy Lynn Google to please come up for our opening prayer. Good evening, everyone. Well, on behalf of the Sisters of St. Francis, this is a very fine evening. And as Dr. Bissett mentioned, Sister Rosine has done an enormous service to the community, civil community, and to the sisters with this partnership with Lord's. So on behalf of the sisters, several are here. We're happy to be connected with Safe. So I will offer what if I didn't do? I have to use it. Do I need to use the mic?
So there's no
That.
it's a conflict between the audio and the speaks.
Gracious and loving God, as we go
Do that. C-suite.
may we remember that all we have in this world is first a gift from you. And that is nurtured through collaboration among us. We celebrate all, we focus on the betterment and sustainability of our sister mother earth, which fosters the mission of the Sylvania Franciscan Sisters in our quest to care for the earth. We ask for special blessing on the gifted, generous, and inspired persons we will recognize.
If I need to hear, then all things.
Oh God, how we can do nothing. And without these noteworthy individuals, our world here in Northwest Ohio. Thank you for all these advisors, part of the Science Alliance for Value on the Environment. Rush to all, the assholes of
No, I really did.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Nancy.
Okay.
We've been planning this for months and months and months. You never know what kind of surprises happen. So, our apologies for this, but, please bear with us. They do say, at least, I guess the scripture says that rain is a sign of God's blessing. We did lessons so many ways today. I guess we have to put up with this one. So thank you so very, very much. What we would like to do is change the order of our program just a tiny bit. We have a special person here to receive an award. Yes, full priority this evening. And so this is to the Eco School Award. And give honor to Northview High School. Sister Paula will introduce our awardee. Sister Paula. Yeah. So basically, Northview High School.
I got it shut off up there.
Our sophomore wanted to give back to the community, saw a need and created, for students get together weekly to make a variety of goods and donate this to local shelters. We are proud to present the 2024 Eagle Secondary School Award to our Sylvania Northview High School. Accepting our award is the following Gavin Welch, who will tell us a little more of his You want to
So, I want to say thank you so much, for this opportunity, thank you so much for the recognition, that really means a lot. I especially want to give thanks to all the volunteers who come and help out and make things better.
Can we just do
Well,
who's recording here? Huh?
Our volunteers who help out, we can't have that without them. And so ever since the first session, seeing all the turnout, seeing how many people are trying to really
You turned it on.
that was really amazing to see all the people. And also, I want to thank all of our donors. Ever since we started, we just had donations rolling in from all these families, all these parents, all these students looking to give back, and all those donations. If it wasn't for those, we wouldn't be able to have our sessions. As for baking, 300 cookies every week, or 100 brownies, or we did 50 loaves of banana bread for the Ronald McDonald House last week. And so if there wasn't for those donations and all the donors, we wouldn't be able to have that. And then also I want to say thank you to Northview High School for providing us with their culinary room, because if it wasn't for them, then we wouldn't be able to have these sessions. They've got 6 lovely kitchen stations that we use. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be able to have the convenience of that area after school. And it really helps out with everything that we do. And Banquet for Better, it's been an absolutely amazing opportunity. It's been great being back to the community. We've seen many lives change through this, handing out cookies to those people in need, seeing the face, seeing the lives that you can change just through a simple cookie, just through a simple brownie, and the way you can brighten one's day. It's really like no other. And I thank you so much for this opportunity. And let's Banquet for Better.
Go Jets.
Thank you so much, Gavin, for all that you do, for the marvelous impact that you've had on our community. What a wonderful, wonderful tribute to you, to the school, to our community. And all we can do is hope for bigger and better as time goes on. So congratulations to you. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Sister Rosine up so that she can give a little introduction to what SAVE is and what we're about for the rest of the year. Sister Rosine?
Right here, we got that, I don't know, is it on? I guess it is. Well, I'd like to invite you to learn about SAVE, and I'm just gonna do a little bit here. There's much more in the booklet and on those little pamphlets that we've given you. There's also a newsletter that's floating around on the table, so I put one or two on the table so you can see what the newsletter looks like and what we do. We're an organization, we started in 1990. We are a 501c3 organization working to link ecology, sustainability, and spirituality. And that's our focus. The focus is to be a catalyst so we can stir up, you know, the motion here and people begin to think out about the earth and all that we're trying to do to keep it afloat, you know, so to speak. We have a number of, I don't know, I was going to say, John, do you have the corporate sponsors on there?
Yes.
I can't believe it. We have one on. Pardon?
You turn the mic on?
No. The mic is on.
You want to keep doing your thing?
All right. We have a number of corporate sponsors that help us throughout the year, and we're very happy for and proud of them. You can see them on the screens there. We have the Baha'i Organization, Budget Blinds, the Holy Spirit Catholic Community, the Butterfly House of Ohio, Lake Erie Waterkeeper, Lord's University, Luger Plate, the Sisters of St. Francis, Sauter's Museum, Sauter's grocery store, not museum, my mind is going all over. The Sophia Center, an in-kind sponsor with Christ Child Society of Toledo, and we also have a corporate sponsor of Wild Birds Unlimited. Plus, we also have a number of groups that we work with, and we call them partnerships. So if they're on that screen, you can see some of the partnerships that we have. We have been doing this for 32 years. This is our 32nd one. What do we do with the rest of the year? Nothing. I know we do a lot. We have a lecture series, and the lecture series is in the booklet, and you are welcome to come. You're welcome to be here. It's free of charge. We have it both on Zoom and in this room. But no, next year it will be closer up front in the boardroom. But this is where we usually held it. And you can see the lecture series for the coming year. So if something floats your boat, please come and be with us and share that evening. It starts usually at 7:30 and by 9, depending on the speaker. Sometimes they're even less. You can also see that in the booklet different people that have gotten the awards in the past. So those of you who are award winners, you can look at all the people who were receiving the awards during the 32 years that we've been doing this. We also go to judge science fairs. We sponsor 3 judges who are called special judges, and they go and they let me be here. Yeah, we looked, Northwest District Science, this room had trouble with it, you'll heard about that. It's not our fault, it was one of the other people, they got sick who always sponsored it, so we did give 3 awards when we were at State Science Day. We also offered scholarships for kids, for 2 $500 scholarships for students who are going from their, senior year into college, no matter where they're going, if they can present themselves as a worthy candidate and they do the preliminary work and everything, then we're willing to look at those students. So we're doing one this year, and she will be here later, but she was in Bowling Green at a softball conference or a softball game or something like that. So, and we do presentations at different places. We connect with different people. We invite different speakers to come in for different things. We hosted breakfasts. We had a national conference here in 1998. We had 2 Earth Expos, I think it was about 2003 or 4, something like that. So we've been moving, and we're happy for that. So I'm glad you're here. I welcome all of you, and if you want to stay afterward and mingle, whatever. We have a photographer that wants to take everybody's picture at the end, all the winners. So that's we ask you to please stick around. Okay, thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. So does do an awful lot of work, and we're just really happy to share all of this with you today. We'd like to start with one of the actually a group of awards that we do each year, and that is for students who are working on their science projects in the area of sustainability. And so I'd like to ask our board member, Susan Krasinski, to come up and tell us a little bit about our award winners for this year.
Hi, as Sister said, that we usually do the Northwest Ohio District Science Day, because that was canceled. We had the opportunity to go online and to judge all the online projects that had something to do with sustainability. So it was a difficult choice, but we were able to do it. We give a maximum of 3 awards to 7th to 9th graders, and the project has to show concern about sustainability issue. They have to address an aspect of the issue's challenges and opportunities. And this project has to demonstrate scientific exploration or research. And these students receive a certificate and a $100 reward. And unfortunately, due to the distance and being a school day, our awardees were able to come, but we've got 2 participating by video and 1 will participate on Zoom. So our first one is Sullivan Meneghetti. He's an 8th grader at St. Joseph's School in Moraine, Ohio. His project is called Building a Better Battery for the Future. And he takes on the challenge of a more efficient, environmentally friendly power source, which is very important. Sullivan is again not able to join us, but we will see him via a video recording.
Susan, there is no video. There is no video on this one.
Well, from what I remember about this project, he was concerned about the hazards of the battery, and so he was able to find a better battery. I guess using one of the oldest batteries, using zinc and I think it was copper, and he tested them. He made his own battery, and he found out that it could be as efficient as a battery that's you know the battery that causes a lot of lithium. Thank you, lithium. Yeah. So he was really excited about this, and so we're glad that he was able to do this and share it with us. So let's give him a hand. Okay, our next student is Lucas Cruz. He's also a third grader. He's at Shaker Heights Middle School in Cuyahoga. This project is called the Best Simple Filtration Method for Water. He was looking at the growing problem of having safe water and then affordable. Getting to more of a problem, around the world. So do we have this? Yes, we have this video.
Good evening. I'm Lucas DeCruz, an 8th grade student at Shaker Heights Middle School. I'm honored to receive the Planet Earth Sustainability Award from the Science Alliance for valuing the environment. I wanted to say for sponsoring this award. I'm not able to attend the celebration tonight, but I wanted to share my project with you. My project is a continuation of last year with some added enhancements. My project is for the best simple filtration method for water. This topic is important because the threat of untreated water is common in developing countries and rural areas without water treatment plants. People living in or visiting these areas need simple, cost-efficient filtration methods that do not rely on electricity. I collected water from the Cuyahoga River and filter it using a filter I created, the same filter with added boiling of the filtered water, the life straw, and a P&G purifier. After filtering, I tested the water using a 12-in-1 test strip for 12 different water contaminants, a bacteria test, a lead test, a dissolved oxygen test, and a water quality test meter. I also tested unfiltered water from the Cuyahoga River as my control variable. My experiment showed that water filtered with the life straw was the most safe to drink, followed by water filtered with the homemade filter with boiling after filtration, and followed by the P&G purifier. The water filtered with these three methods met all EPA drinking water standards and can be used by people living in or visiting developing countries in rural areas. Unfiltered water and water filtered with the homemade filter without boiling were unsuitable for drinking because they contain bacteria. I enjoyed conducting my experiment, and I'm very grateful for SAVE for sponsoring this award. Thank you.
Our third young person is Sanhita Padambaman. She's an 8th grader at Mason Middle School in Warren, Ohio. And her project is called A Novel Two-Pronged Approach to Control Harmful Algal Blooms and Mitigate Microcystin Levels. And her project explores a problem that we are all too aware of in the Toledo area. Sanhita will join us on Zoom.
Hi, my name is Samita Baranthaman and I am from Mason Middle School. My project is on a novel two-pronged approach to control harmful algal blooms and mitigate microcystin levels in a freshwater ecosystem. Over 1 billion people in developing countries don't have access to clean potable water. Harmful algal blooms can release toxins that can make water unsafe to drink and can pose threats to aquatic life. This is why I wanted to try and find a cost-effective way to control harmful algal blooms without harming the ecosystem. So I used a two-pronged approach that uses hydrogen peroxide and coconut-activated charcoal. I collected my water samples from Grand Lake St. Mary's, which is ranked 8th as the most polluted lake in America. My results show that hydrogen peroxide results in the fragmentation of harmful algal blooms, and coconut activated charcoal can efficiently bind and remove microcystin in water samples. This novel two-pronged approach could be implemented to control harmful algal blooms and mitigate microcystin levels in developing countries. My hope for the future is clean drinking water for everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my project with everyone.
Thank you. Quite amazing. Thank you, Susan, and really what a wonderful example of what these young people, these are 8th graders who are doing this work. Isn't that amazing? What a world hopefully will come to because of the work that they're doing, that they've started, and hopefully will continue. But now we get to continue on with our award ceremony. And I have some wonderful people that we would like to share. I'd also like to remind the awardees that we'd like to take a picture of you after you receive the award, right after, and then again at the very end of the program. So please keep yourself all squished up. Our first award is the David and Janice Sandys Eco Service Award. And I'd like to invite David Sussek, our board member, to please come up and give an introduction.
You stand before
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I assume a dual role, photographer. I don't know, I'm not sure how the other two got it, present the award, but in any event, I am the treasurer for SAVE. I also happen to be the brother of Sister Rosie. Father Tony Gallagher is a very unusual and interesting person. He is a strong supporter of the SAVE organization, financially and in spirit. He is always all behind every effort we try to attain. He is the senior member of a 6-children family, and he's very well known in the Toledo area from the things that he does, all of the efforts that he expends. He was ordained in Rome in 1961, which is a privilege in itself. And he is now retired since 2009. But he follows a Laudato Si encyclical of the Pope, and he has a little bit of a motto. His own approach is show up, shut up, and cheer. Interesting techniques to get things done. He works in many areas of the community with Muslims, Jews, Hispanics, African Americans, prison, the Multi-Faith Council, the Care of Creation, CCMT schools, and many other marginalized efforts as well. He also was a co-founder of the Independent Association of U.S. Catholic Priests. And I am very happy to be able to present him with the award. He definitely deserves it. John, would you take a picture? I'm gonna ask someone to take a picture, because I can't do both of them. Yes, John will do it. The Zoom is right there. Thank you.
this is an example of who to have the power to see yourself as others see you. For me, I don't know what I've done. I just show up, shut up, cheer.
Father Tony, we can't say enough how much that means to us. When you're here for the lectures, when you're here, lots are heading this high, so, we really thank you for all that you are and all that you symbolize, and your support means so very, very much to us. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next award is the Eco Friend of the Environment. And I'd like to ask Sister Rosine to please come up and announce the winner of that award.
On a nice Sunday morning, after church, some of us went out to breakfast. And that's where I met our next person, Tammy Lynn Connors. She'll tell you a little bit about what she does and everything, but we started talking and everything, and I parked next to a van that said HOPE. And I thought, oh, I wonder who that is. So I asked to see who the person was. And Tammy came out and we interacted, et cetera, and that's how I found out about her. She is a marvel. She is a recovering alcoholic for 20 years already, and I think she needs but she wanted to go further, and she started a blog, and the hope means helping other people evolve. So she's been doing that, and people call in and thought they'd never be able to find anyone to listen to them, have hope, etc. But Tammy Lynn did, and so I'd like her to tell her story. And you can pray for her son too. Her son had the flesh-eating disease in his eye. Very serious situation. Had emergency surgery in Detroit or Ann Arbor, wherever it was. And she can tell you the rest, but she is a marvelous person, and that's why she is here today, just from this little encounter at the restaurant. Tammy Lynn, come on up.
I don't think I need my phone. Does everybody hear me? Okay, good. So like Sister Rosine said, I met her at the diner I work at one day, and she asked who drove the Hope truck, and that was me. License plate says Hope dealer, and that's what I like to think that I am. She gave me this little shower that day, and I took it home and I set it in front of my picture I have of the ocean that I love. And I set it there, and then she called me one day. And I don't usually answer a lot of numbers that I don't recognize, because everybody knows what they are, the spam. So for some reason I answered that, and she said, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I gave you that seashell at the diner. And I said, of course I do, I got the city right here. And then she told me about this award that I was nominated for, so, okay. So my name is Tammy Lynn Connors. Like she said, I've been sober a little over 20 years. March 9th, I celebrated 20 years sober. I started a blog back in like 2019, and I called it Helping Other People Evolve. And in 20, I was going to start my podcast. And everybody knows what 20 was like, right? For everybody. We all had the year that year. I don't think that anybody had not horrible things happen that year. So I was gonna start my blog my podcast that year for sure on like Friday, date March 9th. And on February 5th, 14th, Valentine's Day, one of my best friends took a Percocet and overdose. And so I didn't start it then. Okay. April, I was getting started. I had another friend that was murdered by her husband. So just things happening. And then August, I was gonna start it, and my mom passed away. So 2020 was a wash, but I knew that God wanted me to really start this podcast. And as it says in the brochure, I was really gonna start it for people with addiction mostly. And I heard from above, there's more struggle than that. And there's so many people that are at home and they feel like they're all alone and maybe they can hear someone else's story. I just feel like this, I'm so passionate about it. Maybe they can hear somebody else's story and got to bed that day. So I started my podcast, started with me, and then I started just interviewing people, and God's just put so many great people in my life for these stories. I have over 120 episodes now. I think I'm going on 129. People that I never met in my entire life. I meet a lot of people through TikTok, Facebook, or I run into people. And people always say, what's the favorite story? There's no favorite story because every story is so unique in itself. And some of these people that I've interviewed have been like, make my struggles look like they were nothing compared to what they've been through. And I feel like in this world, especially now, like I said, so many people feel like you're alone in your struggle. You're all by yourself. And then you can hear somebody else's story and be like, man, I can get out of bed today, or I can go smile at someone today. So that's something that I like to do too, is I try to be a light in the world. I try to, it's just for being probably that day, I just try to smile and be there for people and let them know, hey, you're gonna be okay, or hey, you need to talk. She was saying about my son, so a little bit about that story. He just got out of the hospital Saturday. He was at the NFL draft up in Detroit, and they were at an Airbnb. Well, he missed a step, this wood step, and he got a little cut on his eye, not even as big as a prong of a fork. Well, whatever couch he was sleeping on at that Airbnb had a bacteria, strep bacteria. So by Saturday, he ended up with his eyes swollen shut. They took him to Henry Ford Hospital. By that night at 9:30 at night, he was having life or death surgery. So he had that surgery that night, was on a ventilator for 3 days. He was awake when he was on the ventilator, but he was still on it because his vocal cords were so swollen and his throat was so swollen. Thursday, he was looking good. By Saturday, his eyes swelled up completely again. Surgery again on Monday. Wednesday, he started bleeding quite a bit from the surgery, one of the areas that they had open. And he ended up having a hematoma in there, and he had to go in and cauterize that and get that taken care of. But he came home Saturday for my Mother's Day gift. So we were blessed that he's home. Still prayers. His name's Chad. If anybody wants to pray for Chad, it was a long 15 days. I can tell you that. I drove back and forth to Detroit every day. And but having people in my life, like my podcast people, all the friends that I have in my life, we're so blessed to have people like that. And I think it's just that chain reaction of, you're walking and you see someone and they don't have a smile, maybe give them a smile. You don't know what their day was like. I was leaving the hospital, and I'm big on God puts people in your life for specific reasons. And I was walking out of the hospital and there was a man sitting there, and he was a bigger man, and he was sitting there and he had a towel on his face. And I was like, are you okay? And he took the towel down and he was just crying. And I was like, sir, are you okay? He's like, I will be. I said, please do me a favor. Talk to someone. Your mental health is so important. And he just smiled at me and said, thank you so much. And I started to walk away, and I had these little hope rocks I carried in my purse. And I was like, oh, he's a hope rock. And I turned around and he was gone. Like I searched for him, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I was just supposed to speak to him for that second. But that's what I try to do. So like I said, my podcast is called Helping Other People Evolve. It's on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of those. I have a YouTube channel. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna announce this. Nobody steal this idea, okay? I'm getting ready to have a table set up at different parks in the city or different areas. And it's gonna be called A Penny for Your Thoughts at the Hope Table. No judgment, no money, no advice. And it's just for someone to sit down and talk to someone. Because we don't always like to share what's going on with us with somebody that knows us. So maybe they can sit at my table and just share what they got going on, and then get up and walk away and feel better. So that's me, Tammy Lynn Connors. I'm blessed to be here, honored that you asked and nominated me and gave me this award. Like, it's been just a great, great journey, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Thank you so much.
It is so easy to feel overwhelmed when we look out at our world today. Tammy Lynn, your story of how a smile can change the whole world is just so amazing. Thank you so very, very much. Our next award is the Eco School Award for the elementary school. I'd like to ask Susan Krasinski to please come up and introduce our awardee.
The Eco School Award for Elementary honors a school that promotes an understanding and respect for the environment throughout the entire student body. When I spoke with Nate Bishop, who's Maumee City School Director of District's Behavior Specialist, he recommended Fairfield Elementary School of Maumee and Principal Michelle Lomashevsky for implementing the POX program. This is a set of strategies that helps create a peaceful and productive learning environment in the classroom. And as you've seen from some of our awards, environment also includes our social, emotional environment. And so I'd like to have Michelle Lomashevsky come up as principal to accept the Fairfield Elementary School award for the Elementary Eco School Award.
Yes. Going to talk and let you know. So I brought up my cohort of crime, Amy Johnson. She's the school counselor and was instrumental in implementing this program. PAX is a positive program. It is a classroom management system that we researched about 4 years ago with a committee of teachers in our building. The reason why it was selected is because of the research that backs it up. It is incredible of how it increased learning time because kids are focused and on task. But it also helped later in life. It reduced the chance of heading to prison, suicide, substance abuse, all those things. So we thought, okay, let's do it. And we see just a huge change in the building of the kids being positive, rewarding each other, saying, oh my gosh, I love the way you're walking in line. And it's become this contagious thing that focuses on positive behaviors versus don't do this, don't do that. And kids are behaving because they know they need to make the learning environment better for everyone else versus just behaving because the teacher told me to do something. So you want to share a little bit about the program?
Right. It starts with a PAX vision, and the students create a PAX vision of a wonderful school. And what does that look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And then they go through that to see what they want to see more of and what they want to see less of. And so they create the vision. So they have ownership to where they want this school to be this way, to create a better environment for everybody. Part of what Michelle was saying, that it increases the learning minutes. There is a part of it that has what we call a PAX behavior game. So it encourages students to have those behaviors for a set amount of time. And they aren't allowed to have any, what they call, it's a weird vocabulary in this program, but they're not allowed to have what they call spleens. And those are things that they agreed on in the PAX vision that they don't want to see. So the students aren't called out to say, you know, you did that. There was a spleen and everybody checks themselves. So it really helps with self-regulation. We actually had a competition last week and we had over 8,000 minutes of engaged learning. Wow. So it really speaks a lot. One of the things they get though at the end of the game is they get to do what's called a Granny's Wacky Prize. So it's a really strange thing, I know, but it's so fun. Like they do things, if you look in the pamphlet today, there is pictures of the kids doing this Granny Wacky Prize. They do silly things like snowball fights, they take off their shoes for a day, they walk backwards down the hallway, just simple things. So thank you. Thank you.
I'm ready for a picture. Yeah.
And congratulations to Fairfield School. What a wonderful program. And fun teaching the children and how to become better citizens, which again helps build a better world for us. So thank you so very, very much. Our next award is the Eco Community Award. I'd like to invite Cody to please come up, our board member Cody Vernon, to announce the awardee.
So the Eco Community Award is going to be presented to someone who I met during a really interesting time in my life when I was starting a farm. She was also starting some really cool farming projects in her community. And so we just kind of bonded over food and health and wellness. Her name's Sonia Flunder McNair. She's a CEO and founder of the Sonia Organics, which is a naturopathic company specializing in health, wellness, hygiene, and beauty. After a life-threatening blood infection, she became really passionate about healing people in natural ways. So she did a ton of research. She devoted her life and all of her time to this mission. She also became passionate about rebuilding her community through gardening. So she started a urban holistics group and an urban youth farmer group. So I'll let her kind of talk more about that, but she's basically like all over the place. If you hear about Sonia, she's like doing so much stuff in the community. It's really awesome. So without further ado, so come on up.
Let's do a picture first.
Yes.
Perfect.
Cody is a excellent farmer. And I learned a lot from his visit to my community, and I want to start off by saying thank you for this nomination, this award. I am so honored to be here. I'll tell you a little bit about how I started and how I met Cody. I started building a holistic green space right next to the historical Artatum House, which is on the corner of City Park and Woodland. And if you all are not familiar with Artatum and the local jazz historian, take a visit, take a stroll, visit the farm, and learn about his role in the city. My goal was to make sure that beautiful spaces was not only outside of the inner city community, but within the community. I wanted the people that suffer most from mental health issues, from spaces that are not beautiful, I want them to experience holistic health and wellness. My mom is retired from the Metro Parks. She hired most of the people that are currently there now. And I was raised around nature. And I knew how beautiful spaces made me feel. And I knew how neighborhoods that wasn't so beautiful made others feel. I noticed the crime rates were high in areas that did not incorporate beautiful, usable spaces. So I partnered with the Lucas County Land Bank, and one of my friends, Cindy Bench from Bench Farms, and we created a green space called Tatum Park. It is a holistic green space that sits right next to the historical Artatum home. And back of that is a USDA registered farm that my staff and my best friend represent urban holistics and making sure that we are contributing to beautifying the spaces that was left out when downtown was being revitalized. I have worked with Senator Paula Hicks Hudson to create House Bill 111, which will bring in money to make sure that children that are not born into property, that are not born into the profession of farming, has the ability to learn farming through us, learn how to acquire land through us, because think about it. There's so many empty spaces after demoed houses, spaces that have been abandoned. What do we do with all of those spaces that are left abandoned? We plant trees and we make them beautiful. We have a space that we teach kids every summer. It's about 50 to 60 kids that come onto our site. And we have 12 fruit trees. We have a hoop house full of food. We have restaurants that we provide food for, and we are just ecstatic with the amount of support that people like you, the city of Toledo, offers us. I am a proud member of the Lucas County Health Department Board, and I am to incorporate holistic lifestyles, holistic trainings, holistic ideas to people that do not know what it means to create a holistic environment. I really appreciate this award. Thank you, Cody, very much. And thank you for the board of directors that select us to be recipients of these. These awards are my favorite. The economy, I love it. I love to talk about equity and how to create, thriving neighborhoods, but the economy that creates a beautiful, usable space within our neighborhoods is what's more important. So whenever I get any type of awards that are congratulating us for the work that we do to sustain Toledo's inner city community, is one of my most favorites. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Sonia, and Hope Francis writes in his encyclical Laudato about integral ecology, and I think you're the perfect example of what that means on a very broad basis, how the social, the economic, the community aspects all come together, are important for who we are and how we live together in our world. So thank you so very, very much. Our next award is the Eco Educator Award. And again, I'd like to ask Susan Krasinski, our board member, to introduce our awardee.
The Elementary Eco Educator Award honors an elementary teacher who promotes students' enjoyment, understanding, and respect for the environment. When I spoke to Patrick Troyer, who's the education specialist from the Lucas Soil and Water Conservation District, he suggested Christine Terlani of Maumee Intermediate School. She suggested her to us for her work with her school's environmental club. And so we asked Christine to come up, please, and tell us a little bit more about what you do with the environmental club. Thank you. I was told by my table, I'm supposed to keep it really short. In fact, I was told by my husband 2 words, thank you. We did, a lot of it is listed right there in the program as far as what we do. I've been talking with my students, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I've been talking with my students quite a bit about the importance of trees, and I'm glad I'm glad I got to follow you, because you talked all about the green space and how much that improves mental health. And I think that the kids need to be exposed. We're just talking about making sure that you bring your towels, because we're going to be going out under some of the trees. Kids were given the option to adopt trees and plant trees at our school, or they were given some trees, they possibly by the city canopy program as well. They could sign up for that. So we're hoping to get
20% tree canopy coverage in Maumee, Ohio. When we started a couple of years ago, we were only at 11%. But since then, we have planted hundreds and hundreds of trees. So we're looking forward to doing more of that and just teaching the kids to be out in nature reduces stress, reduces anxiety. It reduces depression to be close to a tree. And the birds that they're able to see just outside of our windows, and they're just really involved in the environment. We're having our plant sale plug on Thursday, for where they actually have grown those seeds and they're, it sustains our environmental club. If we have to buy gloves and wheelbarrows, compost turners, all those types of things. And we have rain gardens, basically trying to bring all of those different experiences right to our campus so that they get a love and a passion and enjoyment so that they can carry it forward for the future. So thank you.
I have no doubt that in years to come, we will be having some of your students up here receiving awards.
Yeah.
You're really making them into environmentalists. Thank you. Our next award goes to the Equal Educator for Higher Education. And Sister Paula will introduce our awardee. Sister Paula.
Dr. Kristen Williams. She's a professor here at Lurd University, works in our biology and health science department. She does more than just that, teaching here. She goes out, goes out to area schools. She's involved in the STEM program, which most people probably know that means science, technology, and math, and engineering and math. We don't want to forget the engineers. Anyway, these are fields that we definitely need more young people to get into and interesting in. And she has such enthusiasm in this program. It seems like every month, or maybe more often than that, she has a program. Like I said, we bring students from throughout the Toledo area, from grade schools and middle schools, and even a couple high school groups where they actually participate in some of these little hands-on STEM things, such as some of the things they do. They extract DNA. They do fingerprinting, they do a mock crime scene to see all the people involved in it, you know, our first responders, our laboratorians, and also she's involved in discussing disease transmission. And I think she does a wonderful job in getting the students involved and engaged, and maybe future scientists, engineers, you know, and with all the enthusiasm that she puts into this program, I feel she truly deserves this award. I do have had the privilege a few times to actually be part of the program that she presents. Just a couple months ago, we had a crime scene here where we called a police officer and the first responder and the CSI, and then we had the laboratory over here where they tested the blood typing and did the DNA, and you know, the whole scenario. And I could just see how excited the students were. So again, I think she's an inspiration to our area schools to, you know, like I said, hopefully we will have more young people going into these fields that are so very much needed. Kristen, would you, if you want to add more, you're welcome to. I don't want to put her on the spot. She wasn't expected to say a whole lot, but Actions speak more than words, for sure.
All right.
Thank you for giving me this gift, considering me. Again, I do a lot of STEM outreach. I go to different high schools, middle schools, and I have the students perform hands-on STEM activities. I also am honored to have a STEM crew. I have a STEM crew, and Susan Paula here is part of that STEM crew. And she helps me and other STEM crew members to set up these experiments, hands-on experiments with the students. And what really moves me is when I see the students, a light bulb goes off in their head, where they can see the connection between what they learned in the book works and as far as a real life experience. Okay, so like, for example, this morning, we had some students that came here to the works. So I'll go out to different schools, high schools, middle schools, and then we'll host events here as well. Okay, we'll have STEM days, we'll have CSI, crime scene investigation days, like she talked about. So for example, this morning we had a school come in and they learned about the science of slime. Okay, how slime comes together. They learned about the chemistry of slime. And then after they learned about the chemistry of slime, they actually made slime. They made a mess. And then after it was all over, I asked them a series of questions and they all got them right, just because they could see the connection. So that's what I like to do as far as my STEM outreach initiatives. And again, thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Kristen, for all that you do, again, enticing future environmentalists along the way. As I attended meetings across the board, I frequently found myself at the First Unitarian Church of Toledo. And I began noticing little signs all over the building that had to do with the environment and protecting the environment and encouraging protection of the environment. And so I decided, well, I'm going to check into this a little bit more. Went to the website and was absolutely amazed by all the things that I saw there, the things that they were trying to do as a church and trying to entice the parishioners to do, really decided that this is a group that really needs some recognition for the length of time that they've been working, the amount of work that they have done for the environment, and the breadth and the depth of what they are doing in their community. And so I'm just very, very happy to announce our awardee, the First Unitarian Church of Toledo, for our Eco-Faith Community Award. Please.
I don't have much to say. I wrote something in the book that tells kind of what we've done over the years. It's a whole congregation. We're just here representing all the work that they've done and that we've done. We've involved the building, the grounds, young people, and adults. And it's been a long process, and it's ongoing. We continue with education. We're working really hard now on improving our recycling and trying to keep up with the city's changes. Getting really involved in the composting that the city has started. So we take the things from the Sunday food that we have and we drop it off at the city compost. Yes, that's it.
I'm TK Barker. I'm the minister at First Unitarian. I really want to thank Karen Porter for speaking. I've been encouraging her to say something because Karen is one who doesn't really talk about it. She does the work. And she's very much at the core of all of our environmental activities. And we so appreciate that. The most recent visual thing that we have is we are expanding our community garden. And it looks like we're really doubling the size of it. We have more gardeners than we have had. The special thing about our community garden is the vegetables that are grown there are not just used by the people who grow. They go to the Seagate Food Bank and they go to the same cafe. So people grow for fun and they feed others. So thank you so much for
I love that. Karen had said in her little write-up that there's so much more to do. But Karen, you've really got a great start. So may it continue, may it continue to blossom. Our next award is the Community Building Award. And I would like Cody, please, to come up and introduce our awardee.
So I didn't do my research on this. I thought I was presenting someone else. I'm sorry. So the Community Building Award, I'm not sure who is here to represent you guys. Come on up. Sorry about that. I'll let you talk about your community building.
All right, thank you.
For the Hughes Torrance Education Institute, Horace Hughes and Glenn Torrance were like you, Father Tony, always showing up. They were a part of Heather Downs Church of the Brethren while it still existed. Torrance Sound and Horace Hughes was a chaplain in the hospital system. And they were very active in the Multi-Faith Council of Northwest Ohio. Horace Hughes was a beekeeper, and so when I saw the honey, I thought of Horace. So we are carrying on their work in a way. That's why we took their name. You can see what we do. We basically take what we know and what we can share and try to share it and make the world a better place. A little bit better than it was before, we hope. But let me tell you a story. Glenn Torrance was dying and Horace Hughes went to see him. And I went to see him too. But Horace Hughes got there first. Now, these two men had known each other for years. Their families got together and they had, Horace was singing to him. And I came into the room and Horace looked at me like, you want to join me? And I was like thinking, no, I'll just sit here in the corner and cry, thank you. Because this is what he was singing. Do you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. Now, if you knew Horace and Glenn, that's as true a story as it would get. Two people that were friends for years, tried to make the world a better place, and we're just still at it.
Wow. What a powerful story. And with that, people could sing that song to us on our deathbed. That's for sure. That's lessons. Well, we have one more award to give. And so I would like Sister Rosine to come up and please announce our a scholarship winner, the same Environmental Leadership Scholarship. Sister Rosine.
Come on up, Em. I've only heard her on this almost all. Well, 2 years ago, we decided that we were going to give scholarships out to students. So we set aside two $500 scholarships to a senior in college or in high school to go into college anywhere, okay? And this year we had Essence apply, and she wrote up a beautiful statement about what her plans are for the future and that. And she's from Anthony Wayne High School in Maumee. So I would like to congratulate you, and then you can tell us about what you're gonna be doing, okay? How was your ball game?
Good, we won.
Okay.
I don't know if I didn't necessarily prepare a speech. I was a little bit unprepared. I'm not gonna lie. I did just come from the district semi, so Anthony Wayne is going to the finals. I definitely focused my essay a lot, not necessarily around one specific environmental issue, but more so around the human aspect of saving our environment. Especially growing up in a post 9/11 world and definitely an environment with COVID being such a major factor, I've seen a lot less human cooperation. I see a lot of people with a lot of different initiatives and a lot of different hopes and a lot of things that they see as a problem. And I see a lot of lack of working together rather than, a lot of lack of working together. So definitely in my future, at the University of Cincinnati, I want to work with organizations that focus not just on environmental issues, but are working with surrounding communities and organizations, because I don't think it's a feat that just one person or one group or one organization or even one nation would be able to solve. So I would definitely say my biggest focus is going to be working on improving human relations and then therefore improving the environment as a result. So.
I just want to add one part to this. I wrote the check for her. It's for $500, so I hope it works well for her in her education future. Congratulations.
Thank you, Essence. What a wonderful way to end our program of the bright promise of this young student. So thank you all so very, very much. One last week, well, actually two last requests. We would like all of the awardees to please move over to this direction to get a group photo. And everyone else, please go to that end of the room to take something home with you. They need it right now. We have lots of food left over, so blessings to you all. Thank you for this wonderful, wonderful event. This is Say's event, but no, not really. It's your event. All the events you do within our community. Would that we could celebrate this every single day, all of the goodness that we have here in the Toledo area. So blessings to all of you. Congratulations to all. And may we go forth and multiply our efforts for our lovely sister Mother Earth. Blessings to you all.